For years, Johnny Somali built his career by traveling the world, provoking strangers, and turning outrage into content. Now, those same viral stunts could cost him years of his freedom. South Korean prosecutors say 6 months in prison isn't enough, and they're pushing for a much harsher sentence. Here's what happened. Before he became a defendant in a South Korean courtroom, Johnny Somali, whose real name is Ramzi Khalid Ismail, had already earned a reputation as one of the internet's most controversial live streamers. His content followed a simple formula: travel to different countries, break social norms, provoke confrontations, and broadcast the reactions live. But when he arrived in South Korea, that formula finally caught up with him. Authorities accused him of repeatedly disrupting businesses, harassing workers and members of the public, and carrying out behavior that many South Koreans described as deeply disrespectful. One incident caused particular outrage after videos showed him behaving inappropriately near the Statue of Peace, a memorial dedicated to victims of Japan's wartime military sexual slavery. As criticism spread across the country, prosecutors filed multiple criminal charges. In April 2026, a South Korean court convicted Johnny Somali on several counts and sentenced him to 6 months in prison. For most people, that would have been the end of the story. But it was only the beginning, because the next courtroom hearing completely changed what was at stake. During his appeal hearing in June, Johnny Somali appeared before the court asking for another chance. Through his lawyer, he apologized to the people of South Korea and admitted he regretted many of the actions that had made him infamous online. His defense also argued that he had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder in the United States and claimed he stopped taking his prescribed medication after arriving in South Korea. They asked the court to take those circumstances into account when deciding his punishment. But prosecutors had a very different view. They argued that the original 6-month sentence was far too lenient given the seriousness and repeated nature of his conduct. Instead, they asked the court to increase his sentence to 3 years in prison. That request has dramatically raised the stakes. Johnny Somali is no longer fighting to reduce a short prison term. He's now fighting to avoid spending years behind bars. The case has divided the internet. Some people believe this is long overdue accountability for a creator who repeatedly crossed the line for views. Others argue that his apology, remorse, and personal circumstances deserve consideration. For now, the final decision rests with the South Korean courts. Will Johnny Somali's apology convince the court to show mercy? Or will prosecutors succeed in securing a much longer prison sentence? Stay with Gossip Chapter for the latest updates on this case and the biggest stories making headlines around the world.